Hey, hello students from Arthur M. Hamilton. I'm Travis with Arizona Public Service working with Trees Matter, and we're here to talk trees and some of the trees that we are going to be planting and have planted here at your school. So we're going to take and talk about our black fig here. This tree is what we're going to be planting in the ground. For starters, we want to get a nice hole and make sure that the hole has got a good depth and it has got a good width. Prior to digging though, call 811 and figure out, are there any underground utilities prior to putting that shovel in the ground for safety. We've done that, we've found what's underneath there. There's a water line, but guess what? We can dig around it and we're gonna be A-okay. So after we have dug our hole, we wanna get a nice measurement. So we wanna make sure the hole has got good depth. We wanna make sure that the hole is approximately just under our root collar there. Next, as we measure it, looks like it's going to be a good depth. Don't really have to take out too much more soil. Looks like it's going to be just fine. Next, we want a hole that's 2 to 3 times the width of our root ball. As we put it in, the reason we want to make that hole nice and wide, we want to give the roots room to spread out to get those vital nutrients that it's going to need to grow. You can see John here scoring the side of the root ball, just loosening up those roots, making sure that they're nice and loose, able to get out there and spread out in our soil. Once he's done with that, he's going to align it in there, make sure that it's nice and perpendicular up and down there.
How's it look from back there?
Looks real good. Looks
Awesome.
like it's ready to get some fill. So he's going to take some of the soil that he's dug out, and he's going to take some of the potting soil, mix it together, and he's going to backfill that hole. As he's filling in that hole, he's going to want to make sure that the soil is slightly compacted, not real hard, but just enough to give that tree a little bit of strength so that when it's in that ground, it's not going to fall over. Next, as they fill it in, they're going to get ready to put in some of the natural soil that they took out. Some of that soil has some of the vital nutrients that the tree's going to need to grow. It's also going to help it as it gets bigger, and just it's going to have that nice content that it's going to need for the making sure that the tree itself just doesn't fall down. So as they're getting ready to prep it, we are also going to put some stakes around the tree here in just a moment after we're done with this. And the reason we want to stake these trees is we want to make sure that as we are doing, or as the tree is growing, that it stays strong and is able to stand up. Here Ryan is also putting in some of that natural soil. They're going to get ready to compact it down here in just a second. Staking. So as John and Ryan get ready to put our stakes in the ground, and they're going to pound the stakes in, making sure they're nice and sturdy, give a little bit of extra strength to that tree. They're also going to tie it down so that the tree itself won't blow down in strong winds, and they'll actually make sure that they use 2 cables so that the tree has a little bit of wiggle in case the wind blows. By the tree having a little bit of wiggle actually makes it a little bit stronger. You'll see also as they keep tapping down that soil, they want to make sure the soil is not smashed down too hard, but they want to make sure that it's nice and firm to keep that tree in place. One of the most important things as students that you can do is make sure that you don't walk on that loose soil around those trees to cause compaction. That compaction will actually harm the trees, make it harder for it to get its nutrients and to actually grow. As we get ready to cable, you'll notice that we actually have a piece of rubber tubing around that cable, and that's just to help protect that bark from the cable from actually growing into it. Make sure that it protects the trees and making sure that it doesn't harm the tree as well.
You don't want this too tight either. You want to keep it kind of loose, allow it to grow up, and eventually it comes off. right? Like that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
How long do you think it takes? I'd say depending on the growth of the tree, probably 5 years, 5 years. But you have to move them as it's growing.
Yep.
You don't want to restrict the growth of the tree because of the cable.
I found a dream that I can speak to. I found a dream that I can speak